Right, a little bit blocked up today for some reason, probably starting to get hay fever, but give you a little tour of my new lathe. As you can see, the workshop I cleared out to put the new lathe in, and there's bits and pieces from the new lathe, but you know, we're back to a mess again. Not too bad actually. Right, here is my new lathe, covered in bits and pieces. Can't really zoom out enough, but we got the outrigger here, which moves around so that when you swivel the headstock around, you can put the bowl, the tool rest there, and turn some fairly large diameters. Obviously the motor's in the headstock there. It's all nicely made, I have to say. There's a spindle lock there, so we've got that locked. Now the good thing about that is it actually is a 24 pin indexer as well, so that's okay. We've got a hand wheel on the back there, and this is comes with a big long bar, which is we can use to undo things and such like. Also, this is the pin which locks the headstock in position, and I think it's all machined up, so as you do that up it enters into a cone and accurately aligns this to the bed. And once you've undone that, you need to push this across, and this is the indexing release for the headstock, so this will do 22, 45, 90 degrees, and then this pops in and locks that angle accurately. Okay, so we power it up, and it goes through some kind of start-up and some safety advice there, and it also always comes up with 500 RPM setup, and you just hit it on and off it goes. Now there are some preset speeds, so if I press mode and up we get 750 there, and you have to do P to confirm, and 1020, 1250. Now that I can change what those are. I haven't done that yet. Obviously I need some faster ones, but going up through the speeds manually is a bit slow, so you do need to spread them out, I think. Now we've got 1600, 2100. That's at 2004. Keep it going. That's 3,500. If I put a bit of load on with my you can hear that there's a bit of load noise, but the whole thing's incredibly quiet, and if you knock the thing off it's all just momentum. Yeah, and you can select the speed you want while it's stopped. Start it going. Now we can go down slower. That's 250 RPM, which is fairly slow, and then we can take it down to 100. Now that is relatively slow. The other thing, we can hit stop, reverse the direction, press go. It gives you a little pause before it starts to warn you, and then off we go in the other direction. Particularly good for finishing, and again, doesn't matter what speed you want, you can do all the full speed range in reverse. Got to worry that your chuck will come off, of course, but it does actually have a grub screw to hold it on if that's what you want to do. So that's all good. This is all extremely positive. The tool rest is all very smooth and locks incredibly solidly, you know. Nice solid tailstock, pretty good range of movement on that. As you can see, the spindle coming out the back goes all the way in, and fairly nice action on that as well, and all smooth, and a good solid lock. The legs are quite hefty actually. This is cast piece, and it's bolted into these steel box section legs, and the feet are on like universal joints. Oh, I'm zooming by accident. But they're actually they're cupped in rubber, but I haven't actually pinched up yet the adjustments on the feet, so I'll see how stable it is then. But it strikes me in terms of ballasting that I probably need to use these bolts, and if you look through the other side, they're just bolted through, to make some kind of tray that goes between those bolts, so across there and way across, to put some sound ballast on. It's not bad. You can probably see if I do that, there's a bit of movement at the bottom, but I wasn't. It will rock, and I think when I had an off balance log on it, it was moving about quite a bit. And I put one of these logs on, just straight away, and roughed it down. It did that very easily, and that turned into this, which I probably showed you before. So this is, I think, beech. It's interesting. If I can get it in the light right. When you're in a strong light, like sunlight, as you move that, you get a really good change in tone. So it's very light there, and it becomes very dark. It's just as it's side on. Now what I did with this was just to turn it. You can see some discoloration here, which is the spalting. I turned it, and then I used some of my spirit stains on there. I think I used a red mahogany, and so I sanded it very finely, and then I put some spirit stain on, and then I sanded it finely again afterwards, so that the stain shows up more prominently where it absorbed better and less prominently. And it's interesting here, this area here where it's darker is probably an area where there was a bit of raised grain, which is interesting. But it's also highlighted this sort of little bit of ripple effect here. So that's alright. It's hollow form. It's not that hollow. I'm not particularly happy with the wall thickness up here. It could be thinner, but it was still a tough ask, and it turned beautifully easily on the outside, but the inside with the hollowing tools, it was still